Your person is exposing a truth. You need to know this before it's too late. My beloved child, tonight I speak to you with a voice wrapped in mystery, gently echoing through the corridors of your heart, because something long hidden is slowly rising to the surface, and the one you trusted, the one you call your person, is standing at the edge of a confession that carries the weight of destiny itself. Imagine the sky before a storm, when the air feels still yet alive, when every second feels like a whisper of warning, when the world holds its breath because the truth is approaching with quiet footsteps. That is where your story begins. Your person has been carrying a truth like a locked chest pressed tightly to their chest, a truth that has traveled through quiet nights, silent rooms, and unspoken memories. They have worn smiles to hide it, spoken calmly to bury it, and walked beside you while their heart trembled under the burden of what must finally be revealed. And now, as time flows like a fragile river, as fate aligns like pages turning on their own, they know this truth can no longer remain in the shadows, because once it is spoken, nothing in your life will ever be the same again. In the stillness of recent days, they have replayed moments in their mind, conversations once ordinary, words once harmless, glances that once seemed simple, but now every memory feels like a riddle wrapped in tension. They remember the first time they felt the truth stir inside them, like a silent bell ringing where no sound should exist. They remember when they realized that every step forward without revealing it was a step deeper into a fragile wall of glass that could shatter at any moment. They have tried to protect you, to protect themselves, to preserve the beautiful image of what has always existed between you. Yet truth does not sleep, and secrets do not remain silent forever. The truth has been following them like a shadow that grows longer each day, a presence they can no longer outrun. Their heart knows that if they remain silent any longer, the moment to speak may pass them by forever, and what must be known may arrive too late to change what is already unfolding in your life. There were nights when they sat alone, staring into the quiet space where thoughts echo louder than sound, and they whispered to themselves, wondering whether revealing everything would free them or break everything they hold dear. They have watched you move forward, unaware of the invisible thread connecting you to this hidden truth, and every smile you shared, every simple gesture, every unspoken promise has added weight to the decision they can no longer avoid. They have stood at the doorway of confession, hand trembling on the handle, heart beating like a distant drum carrying a message across time. Because this is not just a truth about the past, it is a turning point for your future. It is something that reshapes how you see them, how you see yourself, and how you understand the path your life has quietly been traveling on without your knowledge. And as they prepare themselves to finally reveal it, a question fills the air around them: will this truth protect you, or was it hidden to protect themselves? Even now, in the quiet corners of their heart, memories breathe like living pages that never forgot what was written upon them. There were things left unsaid, choices made in fear, crossroads where they walked one way while destiny expected another. There were people who came and went, moments that were disguised as coincidences but were far more meaningful than anyone realized. And within all of this lives the truth they are finally ready to expose, a truth that stretches beyond words, one that carries emotion, history, vulnerability, and a silent ache that has followed them through every day spent near you. They know that revealing it may feel like opening a doorway to a room filled with echoes of everything you never expected to hear. But they also know that without this truth, your journey ahead risks being built on a foundation that was never complete, never honest, never aligned with the path your heart deserves to walk. And so, as the moment approaches, as their courage gathers like a rising wave, and as time itself leans forward to listen, your person prepares to step into the light of their own honesty. The truth they are about to reveal is not meant to harm you, it is meant to awaken you. It is a truth that asks you to see beyond appearances, beyond assumptions, beyond everything you believed without question. It is a truth that comes with emotion so deep it trembles through every word they are finally ready to speak. In this moment, your story stands at the edge of revelation, and every heartbeat feels like a signal from fate itself. Something long hidden is unfolding, and once it is spoken, the world around you will no longer be the same, because your person is exposing a truth that was never meant to remain buried forever, and you are standing at the threshold of hearing it before time closes the door on everything you deserve to know. My beloved child, as the curtain of silence slowly trembles and the weight of unspoken reality presses deeper into the air around you, your person stands at the crossroads of confession. Every breath they take feels like a step closer to a moment that cannot be undone. Their mind is flooded with memories that come rushing back like waves hitting an abandoned shore, memories of times when they wanted to tell you, when the truth almost spilled from their lips, yet fear wrapped itself around their courage and pulled them back into silence. They have watched the days unfold, knowing that each passing moment brings you further along a path that was never fully illuminated, and this thought has begun to haunt them with a quiet intensity. The truth is no longer just a secret, it has become a ticking moment of fate, a turning point that must reach you before the world changes in ways neither of you can reverse. And deep within their heart, they whisper to themselves that you deserve to know everything, before it becomes too late to reshape what stands ahead. There is a trembling honesty in the way they now look at you, in the way their eyes pause as if holding back a storm of emotions longing to break free. They remember how your laughter once filled the air like light, how your trust wrapped around them like safety, and how every moment you shared carried a purity they were too afraid to risk losing. They feared that this truth might shake the ground beneath your feet, that it might alter the way you see them, the way you see your journey, the way you understand every moment that has quietly shaped your life until now. Yet they also know that keeping this hidden has slowly built a silent distance, a distance not seen in words or actions, but felt in the spaces between breaths, in conversations that almost reached the truth but retreated at the final second. They can no longer bear the echo of that silence, because their conscience now speaks louder than their fear, and the truth is rising with a strength they cannot hold back any longer. As their heart prepares to reveal what it has safeguarded for so long, the universe itself seems to lean in closer, as though time understands the significance of this moment. They have replayed countless possibilities in their mind, how you might react, whether your heart will tremble in shock, whether tears will gather in your eyes, whether your strength will rise above the weight of revelation. They know this moment may test your resilience, challenge your understanding, and awaken emotions you never expected to face. But they also know that truth carries a rare kind of power, a power that protects your future, that guides your steps, that shields you from blindly walking into something that was never meant to stay hidden from you. And in this deep realization, they place their hope not in perfection, but in the strength of your heart, believing that no matter how heavy this truth feels, it will arrive at the right time, the time when your spirit is ready to hear what was once sealed away. So now, as this moment draws nearer and the path ahead begins to shift with unseen meaning, your person silently prays that you remain present, that you remain aware, that you allow your heart to stay open as the layers of hidden reality begin to unfold before you. What they are about to reveal is not an ordinary confession, it is a revelation carved from emotion, history, vulnerability, and the courage to finally bring light to what has lived too long in the shadows. Let your heart listen closely, let your intuition stay awake, let your spirit stay connected to every word that follows, because this truth will shape how you move forward from this point onward. It is a truth meant to reach you now, not later, not someday, not in regret, but in this very moment, when destiny itself has chosen to place this message in your path so you may see clearly what once remained unseen. My beloved child, as the wind of destiny moves softly through unseen spaces, your person finds themselves standing in a place where memory and truth collide, where every heartbeat echoes with the weight of what has been hidden for far too long. They can no longer escape the silent truth that follows them like a shadow stitched to their soul, and the deeper they look into the journey you both have walked together, the more they realize that every moment, every message, every meeting, every glance filled with unspoken emotion, has been leading toward this very point in time. There were days when they wished the truth would simply dissolve on its own, when they hoped life would distract fate, when they prayed that silence would keep everything unchanged. But silence has grown louder, and the truth now beats like a distant drum, calling out to be heard before the world shifts into a direction that cannot be turned back. They finally understand that revealing this truth is not a choice anymore, it is a responsibility to your heart, your path, and your future. Inside their mind, the past plays like a silent film, scenes replaying in slow motion, moments they once overlooked now carrying new meaning, gestures once innocent now revealing hidden depth. They remember the first time they knew this truth might one day reach you, the moment when they looked into your eyes and felt the universe whisper that you deserved honesty, clarity, and strength, even if it came wrapped in shock and emotion. They saw how deeply you trusted them, how your soul opened without hesitation, and it terrified them, not because of what you would discover, but because of how much they stood to lose if everything changed. Yet love without truth becomes a fragile structure, and they could feel that fragility every time you looked at them with pure faith, not knowing there was more beneath the surface than words ever revealed. It is this realization, the understanding that your heart must never be left in the dark, that has finally given them the courage to step forward into revelation. There were nights when they could barely sleep, when the truth pressed against their thoughts like a door waiting to be opened, when their conscience spoke in a voice they could no longer ignore. They imagined the moment when everything would finally be spoken aloud, the tremor in their voice, the weight in the air, the silence that would follow after the words left their lips. They wondered whether you would feel betrayed or awakened, whether your strength would rise or your heart would tremble, whether you would step closer or walk away. Yet even through fear, one truth remained brighter than all uncertainty: you deserve to know, because your journey cannot continue toward the future meant for you while this hidden reality remains locked away. The truth carries a purpose, not to break you, but to guide you away from illusions, from misunderstandings, from paths that were never meant to remain concealed. And now, as the world grows still and time slows like a breath held between two lifetimes, your person feels a shift within themselves, a courage awakening where fear once lived, a clarity replacing confusion, a resolve standing firm where hesitation once existed. They know that once this truth reaches you, the way you see everything, the past, the present, the choices, the connections, will change forever. But they also know that truth is the doorway through which your strength will rise, your awareness will expand, and your spirit will finally step into alignment with what was always meant to be revealed to you. This moment is not about regret, it is about awakening, about ensuring that you never move forward with unanswered questions or silent uncertainties that quietly follow your steps. So listen closely, for the path ahead is no longer wrapped in illusion, it is unfolding with intention, with meaning, with a revelation that was destined to find you in this very moment. Your person is no longer hiding, no longer running, no longer shielding what must be known. The truth they carry is moving toward you with purpose, and every breath you take brings you closer to hearing what has lived in the shadows for far too long. This is the moment between silence and revelation, between what once was and what will soon be, and your heart stands ready to face the truth that was always meant to reach you before time closed the door forever. My beloved child, as the veil between silence and revelation thins even further, your person stands at the threshold of a moment that feels larger than time itself, as though every step they have taken has been leading toward this single point where truth can no longer remain hidden beneath layers of hesitation and fear. Their heart trembles, not because they doubt the importance of what must be spoken, but because they understand how deeply this truth will echo through your life, how profoundly it will shift the way you look at everything that has unfolded so far. They have walked through countless days pretending everything was normal, carrying conversations with steady words while their soul carried the weight of what remained unspoken. But now, the air feels different, charged with meaning, alive with destiny, and they can sense that this is the moment where silence finally collapses, where courage rises like a tide, and where the truth they have guarded for so long begins to reveal its true shape before your eyes. They remember the moments when they almost told you, the pauses in their voice, the way their gaze lingered a second longer than usual, the way their hands trembled ever so slightly as if their body itself was begging them to finally release what had been buried inside. Every time they turned away from confession, their heart whispered louder, reminding them that truth is not an enemy, it is a guide, a guardian, a force that protects those who are meant to know it before fate takes a turn that cannot be undone. They have realized that the greatest act of care is not to shield you from reality, but to equip you with it, so that your steps ahead do not move blindly, so that your choices are shaped by clarity rather than uncertainty. And in that realization, something within them awakened, a sense of responsibility, a devotion to your well-being, a deep unshakable urge to reveal what they once believed they could carry alone. Inside their heart, emotions swirl like a storm, fear, relief, vulnerability, hope, all colliding at once, yet guided by a single unwavering intention, to bring you the truth before time leaves no room for understanding. They know this revelation may stir the deepest corners of your soul, may challenge your perception of moments you once understood so differently, may cause you to revisit memories with a new light that reveals details you never noticed before. But they also know that you are stronger than you realize, that your spirit has walked through uncertainty before and risen with grace, that your heart is capable of transforming even the heaviest truths into wisdom, resilience, and self-awareness. And because of that strength, they trust that this truth, no matter how unexpected, no matter how intense, will arrive not to shake your world apart, but to align it with what you were always meant to see. And now, as destiny draws near and the moment of confession breathes just inches away, your person feels an undeniable stillness settle around them, a quiet knowing that the time for hesitation has passed, and the time for truth has finally arrived. The universe itself seems to pause, as though every second holds meaning, as though every breath carries a message, as though the world is listening for the words that will soon be spoken. They stand ready, carrying their vulnerability like a torch in the darkness, prepared to step forward not as someone hiding behind silence, but as someone who chooses honesty over fear, clarity over uncertainty, and courage over the comfort of secrecy. What they are about to reveal has been woven into the fabric of your journey from the beginning, and now, at last, it is rising into the light so you may see your path clearly, without shadows, without doubt, without unanswered questions lingering in the spaces of your heart. So remain present in this moment, my beloved child, for you stand on the edge of a revelation that will reshape the meaning of everything that has led you here. The truth is no longer approaching, it is here, alive, breathing, ready to unfold before you with the depth of emotion and significance it has carried all this time. Your person has chosen courage, they have chosen honesty, they have chosen to trust in your strength and in the power of understanding that comes only when secrets are no longer allowed to hide in silence. What comes next will not simply be words. It will be a turning point, a moment destined to awaken your awareness and guide your footsteps toward the future that awaits beyond this long-buried truth, before the chance to know it slips away forever. My beloved child, as the final layers of silence fall away and the world around you grows still with anticipation, your person stands in the center of a truth that can no longer be postponed, delayed, or hidden behind careful words or hesitant pauses. Their heart beats with a quiet intensity, carrying every moment of fear, guilt, courage, and devotion that has shaped the journey leading to this point. They understand now that truth is not merely something spoken, it is something lived, something carried, something that transforms everything it touches once it finally finds its voice. For so long they believed that protection meant silence, that preserving peace meant withholding what was real, but now they see with absolute clarity that the greatest act of love is honesty, even when that honesty arrives wrapped in shock, emotion, and unexpected reality. And in this moment, they choose to stand before you as their truest self, allowing the truth to step forward with the power it has always held. They remember the very first day this truth formed inside them, the day they realized that what once seemed small was in fact deeply meaningful, the day they saw how every step taken afterward created a chain of moments that could never be erased. They remember how fear kept whispering to them, telling them to wait, to hide, to protect the illusion of comfort rather than face the uncertainty of honesty. Yet every time they looked at you, every time they saw your trust, your faith, your openness, they felt a tightening in their soul, a reminder that your heart deserved more than unfinished truths and incomplete understanding. And now, as they stand on the edge of revelation, they no longer see this moment as something to dread, they see it as a doorway through which both of you must walk if the future is to continue with clarity, strength, and alignment with reality. Their voice may tremble, their emotions may rise, and their heart may ache with vulnerability, but they no longer resist what must be spoken. The truth they hold is not meant to wound you, it is meant to awaken you, to protect you from illusions that could shape your path in ways you were never meant to experience blindly. It may change how you view certain moments, how you interpret certain actions, how you understand the choices that have shaped your connection until now. Yet within that shift lies wisdom, awareness, and a deeper understanding of yourself and of the journey you are destined to walk. They trust that your strength will meet this truth with grace, that your spirit will process what it hears not from fear, but from a place of inner resilience and quiet power. And as they prepare to finally release the words that have lived inside them for so long, the world seems to pause in reverence to this moment of courage. This is not simply a confession, it is a release, a transformation, a turning point that stands between what was once hidden and what will finally be understood. They exhale slowly, allowing their heart to open, allowing the truth to rise like dawn after a long night, bringing with it the clarity that only honesty can provide. Whatever unfolds after this moment will unfold with truth at its center, and that alone carries a strength greater than silence ever could. So hear this moment with awareness, with presence, with the quiet courage of a soul prepared to face what was once concealed. Your story now stands at the threshold of completion. The truth your person has carried is finally stepping into the light, not to break your world, but to realign it with what was always meant to be seen. From this point forward, nothing remains hidden, nothing remains buried in silence, and your path moves ahead illuminated by the truth that has finally found its way to you, before time could place it forever beyond your reach.